EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Boston Championship. Beautiful day here at the TPC Boston in Norton, Massachusetts. This is the site of the Deutsche Bank Championship, part of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Nobilo.
And a fun golf course in front of us today too. Really carved out of this wonderful New England landscape. 92 bunkers adorn the golf course, and well, we are in New England, so you'd expect a little bit of weather. We might get a little bit of rain, maybe a little bit of wind, but golf course built and certainly plays well in any condition.
Frank, at 298 yards, the fourth is reachable for just about every professional. What might scare them off?
Well, that bunker on the left, that's really actually a chance to showcase your skills, and that's where you realize how much better professional golfers are. A good bunker play, especially on a hole like 4, and then you'll get well rewarded.
This is a great place for a fan to watch, isn't it?
It is. You see so many different short shots around this green. The bunker shots from the left side, if you hit it over the back on the right, the little bump and run through the little valley in the green. Fun hole to watch.
Perfectly placed tee shot will set up an eagle opportunity, but then you see quite a few bogeys made here as well.
Yeah, if you stray a little bit, leave the ball too far short, then you have to play that pitch across the bunker. That's no fun.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Still playing even for the day after the par. A lot of great golf early on. Let's get you out to the action at the 5th. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Ready now at the 6th. It is a tricky 465-yard par 4.
Yeah, hit it through the chute. Water comes into play a little bit down the left if you're a long hitter.
That was just a beautiful drive and hit it solid and right in the middle. And from the fairway for his second shot here. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie. That was a good run at it, Rich.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game.
Just a couple of feet. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Frank, now a big par 5, the 7th hole.
Yeah, there's an interesting feature on this par 5. About 100 yards short of the green is that huge cross bunker. So a good tee shot, that shouldn't be a problem. Stray a little, and then your mind is definitely on that.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. A bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
Frank, it rolled out of the short grass and into the white sand, so this is his third shot.
Yeah, a lot of the professionals would rather be in the sand than the thick rough. You can control the spin much better out of fairway bunker than you can the rough.
To generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Settles in over the putt. Okay, has it and stays at 1 over par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Boston Championship. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Massachusetts on a magnificent fall day. TPC Boston, the site for the action. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
It was built in 2002, Rich. Had some changes over the years with Gil Hanse and Brad Faxon, but it's certainly been a staple on the PGA Tour. It was first played a tournament there back in 2003. Adam Scott got his first win on the PGA Tour, and since 2007 has been a part of the FedEx playoffs.
It's a part of 72. See if you can break the course record today. It's only 61, held by Vijay Singh and Mike Weir.
Yeah, just a 61. Big golf course. And with that 18th hole, well, we'll see if you can get 11 under on the 18th tee. That'll be a little bit of a difference.
Really exciting finishing hole here at TPC Boston. Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson, they all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one no easier than the one he's just hit. Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Sixth hole here at TPC Boston, always a fan favorite. What do people like about it, Frank?
Well, it's like a goal kicker hole. There's these two big pine trees, and especially when you turn off that back tee. Hit it through that chute, avoid the two bunkers on the right, you're in prime position.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Second shot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
He has this for par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frankie, just love the variety of holes here at TPC Boston. Now we get to the 7th. It's a 600-yard par 5.
It looks straight away, but the problem is if you don't hit a good tee shot, then you really have to be aware of that cross bunker. That is one place you don't want to go with your second shot.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Headed for the bunker, I think. That one is in the bunker. I'll make this about 100 yards. Third shot. Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. The bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Has his par. Hole number 8 now, 213 yards in length, a par 3. And Frank, what can we expect?
Really narrow at the front of this green. A lot of mounding. Ball normally kicks towards the left. One place you don't want to go, though, is that left bunker. The bunker shot's all downhill from there.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. So close.
Can't birdie them all, Rich. Even par currently.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, I don't know about you, but I love a good hot dog and a soda at the turn. Of course, it tastes a lot better after you've made par. How difficult is that proposition here at the 9th?
Well, if you stray with your tee shot here, you'll be making hamburgers, that's for sure. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, here at the 9th, what are most players trying to do?
Well, you really have to be aware of that bunker. That's about 25 yards short of the green. If you finish up there, that's one of the hardest shots in golf, the long bunker shot. You've got to carry that, even if you want to run the ball onto this green.
We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. So that is the end of the second round, and unfortunately, the end of the tournament for our featured player, missing the cut.
Well, they certainly didn't hit the magic number here for the tournament. Fell below the cut line, and they just couldn't make it back. There's always next week.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Frank, through the years, there have been some great winners at the Open Championship played at Royal Troon.
Well, just in recent history, remember Mark Kalkoveckia in the playoff with Wayne Grady and Greg Norman. There was also Todd Hamilton when he beat Ernie Els in the 4-hole playoff. And back in 1996, Justin Leonard was to win his Open Championship.
Tom Watson also won an Open Championship here. Tom Weiskopf, his only major, that was 1973. The great Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, they all won at Royal Troon.
Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that, hanging in the sky.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Shouldn't be a problem here. -1 and early going. Now a chance for a birdie. So in the red figures at 1 under. Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Well, we've got about 135 yards left. That will be a great look at birdie. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. He has a 12-footer here. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Locked in on the read and the speed. To -2 early in the round. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the 3rd. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
Extra stroke at it after going into the water. Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water. A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
This will be the 3rd swipe at it. Make it about 110 yards. Has it, and he's 2 under par. Just like that, now at 2 under. Hole number 4, Frank, can you cut the corner on the tee shot on this dogleg right par 5?
Well, Rich, you have to guarantee you can carry the ball at least 280 yards. That bunker that protects that side is the big problem if you go down the right.
And that's where you want to be at the 4th, in the fairway. Nice position, short grass, 2nd shot. right in the heart of the fairway. Green light special. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
This is a good-looking shot. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
Oh, he's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there. And, yep, good thing, too. He's actually putting well.
And with that putt, he moves to 3 under. Now, the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole. A little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
These putts keep the round together. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Drops it in for birdie. Moving on to hole number 6 here at Royal Troon. Frank, what are the golfers facing at this long par 5?
Well, you've got to attack this hole in chunks, Rich. Just allow the mounding on the right to kick the ball forward. Then try and position that second shot. Keep well away from that pot bunker that's a little bit short, about 30 yards right and short of this green. That is the one that causes the problem. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Second from an excellent lie.
That's an absolute beauty.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Frank, getting set for this approach shot. Our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. "12 feet still to go." Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? Getting set now over the putt. Knocked that down for par, remains at 4 under. He has this for birdie. Good putt and a good move, now to 4 under. Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right, ideally just a little cut off the tee.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. So, Frank, out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. Well, by getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. This is a 16-footer. just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. 4 under on the day. Did the job right there. Frank, here we are. All of 123 yards. It's a famous postage stamp hole.
It sits up there nice and proud. It's protected by 5 bunkers, but avoid the ones on the right. They're the deepest, all the way down on that right side.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Well, we've got about 135 yards left. This will be a birdie if it drops. Wow, rolling the ball beautifully, makes birdie again.
Yeah, that pace, that roll, it's always getting to the hole, and it's the perfect, what we call the perfect holding speed. It uses all 4 1/4 inches of the top.
Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standard. You're looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back 9?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Frank, just a beautiful day out there today, but there are some challenges.
Yeah, those tricky winds up there, you've really got to focus on exactly how strong it is and what direction, because it's very easy to make the mistake of hitting the wrong club out here. You make a mistake with the wrong club choice, even a good swing is not going to get rewarded.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
Should be safely on deck.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
And getting ready for the putt. Just has the feel today. So a tester from 4 feet. Good work right there, now to 6 under. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Will settle.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot.
Rich, I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. You know what he shot that day?
It was low. It was a great round, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the lowest round he's ever shot in the Open Championship. 64 to be precise. Justin Leonard went on to win the Open Championship that year.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh, I thought he had that. Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, what happened to Jack Nicklaus here at the 11th hole back in 1962?
Yeah, that was his rookie year. He was actually looking at making 2 majors in a row. He just won the US Open. Came to the 10th hole, and, well, he made one more than 10. 11 to be precise. So you never know. If you make a 5 or a 6, That's not so bad when you consider what happened to Jack Nicklaus all the way back in 1962.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Setting up in the fairway, 200 yards to where that hole is cut. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot. Second shot.
Settles in over the putt. So with that make, now at 7 under par. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. He has this for par. So stays at 6 under with that solid par putt. Now 8 under on the day. Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward, but it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
That was a little over-ambitious.
Set up in the fairway, 200 yards from here. This is a good-looking shot. That will be a great look at birdie. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
On fire right now. 7 under par. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. On the tee here at 14, it's another par 3, Frank.
You don't get caught looking at the front of the green. That's where it's at its most narrow. Ideally, something that pitches just into the top of that mound.
Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer, or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field.
190-yard shot now. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. This is a 19-foot putt. Oh, yeah, he's going to love that one, Frank. Sensational effort.
Oh, just eat that up.
So they'll tap in. 6 under on the day. Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
Repetitive is often sounds boring. This is just shot after shot, and it's anything other than that. Spectacular.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading towards the rough.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Now to 7 under par. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5. Here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. That was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicket.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
Rich, with a lie like that on the rough, you're going to get too much grass between club face and ball. You're going to have to adjust for that and at least take a club or two more.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par. Second shot.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. And getting ready for the putt. Moves to -8. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit. 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.
Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over. Frank, at the 1989 Open Championship, Greg Norman was in great position in that playoff with Mark Calcavecchia, and I believe it was Wayne Grady. What happened to Norman?
Well, he started off tremendous in the playoff. The playoff was 1, 2, 17, and 18. He birdied the first and the second hole. Missed the 17th green just on the left. Took 3 from the edge, which allowed Calcavecchia and Wayne Grady back in. Then took driver up off 18. It bounced just one hop too far and found that bunker on the right side. And, of course, the rest was history, and Mark Calcavecchia was crowned the Open champion.
Yeah, the Great White Shark, so often so unlucky at major championships.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close. And just a great shot.
Just has the feel today. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile, and we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Opening tee shot here at the Wells Fargo Championship. It's a par 4, narrow landing area.
Yes, you'd like to bank on a good tee shot here. Get it banked for Wells Fargo. That's really the plan here, Rich. 3-wood, don't have to hit driver, and, well, you might even be able to deposit a birdie come the end of the hole. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Now the approach shot here at the par 4 first.
There's a big mound in the middle of this green, Rich, and the ball has a tendency to kick either side of that, so just be aware.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot making we're seeing out there today. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost, because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target.
So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot. We'll play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side.
Frank, we remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, his first PGA Tour victory, a 62 in the final round. It was also the first victory for Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it was in a playoff, and in that playoff, Ricky just pulled out a driver and smashed it down there, then hit a sand iron to that front left flag, basically to gimme distance. Not only did he win in the playoff, but he beat Rory McIlroy, the then world number one, in DA points. And that was the same Ricky Fowler that, remember, in the playoff in 2015 for the Players' Championship, drove the ball in equally daunting fashion over those 3 playoff holes at TPC Sawgrass. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Frank, a little chip shot here from the fringe. Now, a lot of options. I've seen some players hit 6-iron. Others will shut down like a sand wedge.
Yeah, there's 2 schools of thought. Some people just try and perfect like one club. But really, the best chippers chip with a variety of clubs.
These are the kind of putts that keep a round going about 10 feet away for par. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh, I thought he had that. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in your Rich.
Just a little tap in here. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. Moving on to the 3rd hole now. It's a par 4, 452 yards.
Big sweeping dogleg left, and the fairway actually goes in the opposite direction of the dogleg. Must hit a good tee shot for 2 reasons. One, to find the fairway, and also the length of this hole. over 450 yards.
Frank, one of our colleagues at Golf Channel, Ryan Hammond's always liked to say, keep it in the short grass. It is nice to play from the fairway.
The game's so much easier from the fairway. Less decisions to be made. You don't have to worry about a flyer or the lip in front of the bunker or a tree. The game almost appears straightforward from there.
Frank, you've been there. How important is it to hit fairways early in the round?
It just takes the pressure off the rest of the game, Rich. I mean, not only are you reducing the length of the hole by getting the ball in play and, a good distance off the tee, but you're simplifying the next shot.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut. Not too bad. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Settles in over the putt. Oh boy, a drop shot here at the third. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Bit of a struggle early on, 3 over. We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4. Frank, you know this. You can't win a tournament in the first round, but you can lose it. As we catch up with our featured golfer, they need to turn this around just to make the cut.
And turn it around now.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just a couple of feet. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away, so that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Well, Frank, the wind is really starting to pick up.
You've got to fixate on the direction now. If you get the direction wrong and or mistime one of those gusts, all sorts of problems.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Now the second shot on the 5th hole here at Quail Hollow. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Birdie try up next. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. He has this attempt for par. Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over for the day. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying, so long for now. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. And we welcome you to one of the most popular golf courses on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course. Fans are streaming in, anticipating a highly contested event with the best golfers in the world.
One reason the fans love this course so much, Rich, the Green Mile. It's fine to have a good golf course, but it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Might be. Could be. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, here we are at another par 5. Second shot to the 7th. Is it time to go pedal to the metal?
Yeah, this is the shortest of the 4 par 5s, and the second shot has to be respected. Left obviously isn't ideal, but it's still better than letting the ball go to the right. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Frank, I hate to go negative, but let's clear a few things up. The penalties when you hit it in the water versus hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, some people, that's a good question, Rich, because some people think they're almost the same, but when you hit it out of bounds, you're actually losing a stroke and a distance. For example, if I'm teeing off on a par 4 and I hit it out of bounds, I'm penalised a stroke for hitting out of bounds, and I'm hitting my third shot off the tee. When I hit it into a water hazard, I don't have to lose all of that distance. I can drop the ball up just short of the water hazard. So the distance penalty isn't the same as if it was out of bounds.
This now the 4th shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green.
That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, too bad. He gives one back. Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4/8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
That's always painful. Just another couple of rolls and it drops. These putts keep the round together. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But You can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, what's ahead now on this approach shot at the long par 4 ninth?
Well, what's in favour for the player, Rich, is the fact that both the left and the right side of the green slope back towards the middle, so you can almost use them like sideboards. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. He'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away, in a good spot. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss. And a drop shot here at the ninth. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Are you kidding me? He just missed that. I cannot believe that. That was such a short putt. So they'll tap in. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did. Second shot.
Frank, what's the right play here on the 10th?
Favor the left side. Everything will slope towards the right. Just be careful that grass bunker, sort of front right. The ball will sort of come a long way down to the front edge of the green.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th.
Rich, you got to tell me what happened. I covered my eyes on that one.
Another bogey. What else? Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
The green is up above, and this will play at least a club longer. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. A good 20-footer here. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks, move forward, better days ahead.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Located in Charlotte, North Carolina, Quail Hollow was originally designed by the architect George Cobb back in 1961. And Frank, it features one of the most imposing finishing stretches on tour. They call it the Green Mile.
Yeah, 16, 17 and 18, what a great test and a wonderful way to finish this golf course. It has a nice flow to it. Anytime you're in the Carolinas, all these mature trees that really define the fairways. Everything's in front of you. Some greens with certainly a lot of pace out there. You tested every club in the bag. This is a great golf course.
Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, what's the right play here on this approach at the first?
You can go at the flag here at the opening hole, Rich, because the flag's normally in these little pockets on the screen around the big ridge in the middle.
Headed for the bunker. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
and getting ready for the putt. Frank, that's disappointing. You like to get out of the gates with a par.
Yeah, this is where a convenient memory would certainly help.
Just 5 feet left. Wow, I thought he made that. My goodness, what does a guy have to do to make a putt out here? In red figures at 1 under par. Not the best start, 2 over par. Teeing it up here at the second hole, Frank, it's a short par 3.
Yeah, it plays a little bit downhill, about half a club, Rich. There's a sort of shallow bunker in that back area, and also that green starts to reduce in size on the left side. Good par 3.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. This would give him the par. Well, Frank, he'll drop at least 1 shot here. That was not his best effort.
No, poor is the easiest way to put that. He knows it.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Solid par to remain 1 under. Just a little tap in here. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. 1, that the hole bends to the left. 2, that the fairway starts to run out. And 3, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here. Oh, beautiful swing. And the result is every bit as good.
Just an ideal lie, Frank. What can he do from here?
Well, if he takes advantage of the tee shot now and goes at this flag, then he'll certainly gain on the field.
Now the approach here at the third. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This is a good-looking shot. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Looks like he just misread that.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, you know, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
So a tester from 4 feet. So, Frank, that's a bogey, and you see something with the body language here?
Yeah, I think we noticed that back there with that double bogey, Rich. Since then, it's almost like doubts crept in, a little bit of uncertainty. That is the beauty of this game at times, but really, if you want to be a champion, that's one thing that you have to change. Somehow, you've got to forget what's just happened. We haven't seen that yet. What a great shot.
Good contact, good result. Frank, there's really great history here at Quail Hollow.
Yeah, it's a private members club, Rich. Was founded by James Harris back prior to 1960. We know it hosted the Kemper Open from 69 through to 79, the Payne Weber Invitational from 83 to 89. And now, obviously, it's the host of the Wells Fargo Championship ever since it debuted back in 2003.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Good, clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Nice putt, count it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Here we are at the par 5 fifth. It's 570 yards. Frank, this should be reachable for most players, don't you think?
Yeah, if you hit a good tee shot, especially with the draw, it will be. But the hardest part of this is judging that kick on the fairway that kicks the ball to the right. And it sort of turns at that awkward area at where the top of your tee shot range. That's where that dog leg is.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
Oh, I liked that.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. High winds, high scores. Let's see if he can put something together late. Settles in over the putt. Has it going, 3 under for the round. These putts keep the round together. This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. Blemish on the scorecard. A bogey. Wow, Frank, this is all you want, a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3.
Should be pretty good right there, on the safe side. That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Second shot.
Hard putt, soft hand, beautiful putt. Three under on the day. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5-7.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on, do you go for this par 5 and 2? It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Good lie in the fairway, and a good chance to make something happen here. crucial eagle attempt on the way. Headed for the bunker? Just a bit offline and into the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Frank, he might like this one. He might like. He's gonna love it. Great putt. Just 5 feet left. And at last, he has made a birdie.
And what can he do from here, though? Is that the start of something? It looks like it is.
Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par 4s, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green.
So a little slow out of the gates, but now Frank's starting to pick it up.
Yeah, and into the ebb and flow of the game. We know you can't hit good shots all the time, so if you can just ride out the little bad patches like now, then things can still get up very quickly.
See how they do on this approach. Faction off the center and headed to the right. Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
So picking up a shot and shaking off that bad start. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fowlers have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go.
Yeah, Rich, the reason why the best players enjoy stroke play so much is that every single shot's going to count. And you can't get away with anything in stroke play.
You have to manage your game, and you have to manage your emotions as well, because it can get away from you in a hurry. This one measures out to 15 feet. Just misses. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. So they'll tap in for a bogey. Well, let's hope he can regain some ground here on the back nine. Not his best performance so far today.
But what a good back nine would do. If he can just even this round out with just 9 good holes, so much can happen.
Excellent looking shot here. Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Second from an excellent lie. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Right in the heart of the fairway. Green light special. Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice strong breeze. Second shot here at the par 5 10th. Chance to make something happen. Good swing, good shot yet again. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, you tip your Hogan visor to this player because early on it appeared as though this one was headed way off the tracks.
Well, it was. And to stop the round and turn it back and now look like he's playing even better than ever, it took some doing.
And getting ready for the putt. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Just a tap in to finish the hole. On fire right now, 7 under par. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want it, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, I see a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Third shot, looking for a good one. Frank, you always start out thinking about going low, but you know in this game you can end up feeling low. What do you tell a player who's had an off day?
Well, this is as much about managing your misses as celebrating your great shots. You look at the best players in the world, they know how to play bad better than anybody.
So a tester from 4 feet. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Now 8 under on the day. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill, fairway tilts a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Boy, this is a challenging second shot here to the par 4 12th.
It's almost like two greens, Rich. That ridge that goes through the middle about the halfway point, 18 to 20 yards. Anything over that will kick on, and anything short of that runs back to the front.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Second shot, good look at the green. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. He'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
Settles in over the putt. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. That is a solid par putt right there. Eight under par for the round. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Appears to be tracking well. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
Second shot. This is an awkward length. Good read, good line, well played.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong three-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards as the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard three-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
snack, though.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Now -10 for the round. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a couple of feet. That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
Frank, how about this approach shot to the 16th, the beginning of the green mile?
There is no other option but the aerial attack here at 16. Front bunker means it has to be carried. The one on the right really isn't in play. But that little hollow and that left front of the green, you've got to fly the ball at least 7 or 8 yards onto this putting surface.
That will be a great look at birdie. Set up in the fairway, 200 yards from here. Good swing, good shot yet again. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. So they'll tap in. 6 over for the day. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
You can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Well, that wasn't a gimme, but he sure made it look easy. Could use this, a putt for par. He'll take par and move on. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Final approach shot of the day here at 18. Frank, what's the key?
A nice high shot that just holds from that left side would be perfect. But it's so hard to get the ball all the way back because this second shot is played slightly uphill, nearly 3/4 of a club.
And he went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Playing his fourth shot after the third was wet.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Continuing his fine play, another beautiful approach shot. So Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Getting set now over the putt. That's a bogey. Not a gimme, but well within his range. 14 under on the day. So, one round in the books and a lot to chew on here.
There is. This is going to be a tough championship to pull away. The standard of golf, especially that first page of the leaderboard. Excellent golf.